Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to this edition of Office Hours with Lanora. Sorry for the delay. I was finishing up a call with the student and wanted to make sure that I got here in time enough for you. So please forgive me at not starting at our normal 12:30 time. But I'm here. I'm here. And do I have information for you? Yes, I do. I do. First and foremost, just checking in with my people. How are we all doing? This is the Office Hours with Lenora, the home edition. And I just want to make sure that everyone is doing okay out there. I miss you all. Boy, do I miss the contact part of this business. Talking to people on the phone every day is normal, but actually seeing people, I miss my coworkers. I miss going to the office, traveling on the train, or driving in. But needless to say, with this being as serious as it is, we have to be patient. We have to be understanding, pack a whole lot of patience to be exact, and to just hang in there. So if you're not doing well during this time, talk to somebody, reach out to somebody, make sure that your voice is heard. If you're doing well, maybe you should be the person to reach out and make sure those people that you have not heard from in some time, that you just check on them. So what we're going to be talking about today, the topic of discussion, is the value of mentorship. I've had students from most experience to no experience ask and seeking help for information about either becoming a mentor or being a mentee. So let's start with the basic definition of what each one of those are. A mentor, and y'all know I take notes, so nothing new. A mentor is, the definition of a mentor is pretty much an experienced or a trusted advisor. So that's someone that we're going to reach out to who has experience in the business. For example, I've had approximately 17 years in the business. And I've had several people ask me about opportunities to become their mentor. If something like that, I would be willing to do. Some people I have done it for. Others, I said, let me wait and see. Because it's a relationship and you want to make sure that you cultivate that relationship to get the maximum benefit out of it for both the mentee and the mentor. I've also had people ask me, what's the difference, Lenora, between a mentor and a coach? Think of a coach being a specific goal. So maybe if I had a son, I wanted to put my son in Pee Wee football, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm not a sports person, but maybe for the summer, I wanted him to get exposed to playing the sport of football. So I may put him in one of those smaller leagues where he gets the instruction and the training and the physical exercising and the rules and playbooks and different things of that nature for the goal and the sport of football. That would be more of a coach, advising, nurturing, and growing a person into a specific role. Whereas a mentor, larger demographic, larger scope. The mentor is pretty much interested in both the professional, personal, and how each one of those things cross over. They're going to also look into ways to enrich you in all areas, not just one. So the role of a mentor would be of a larger scope. I often, like, when I thought about putting this topic together, the first thing that came to mind was the Karate Kid. Who doesn't remember the Karate Kid? So, scenario, Daniel-san was the mentee and Mr. Miyagi was the mentor. How many of us remember wax on, wax off? So the whole goal of that relationship, originally Daniel-san, or Daniel, went to Mr. Miyagi for help. He asked him for help. That's what a mentee would do. They're going to come to you and they're going to say, I'm not as effective in an area, or how can I grow my business, or what skill set should I look for to work towards, to enrich so that I can reach an ultimate goal over a span of time. In that scenario with the Karate Kid, that lesson that Mr. Miyagi was teaching Daniel was to practice patience. One of the major things that he told him in that scenario from the Karate Kid was, don't ask any questions, just listen. That's a lot of what a mentor-mentee relationship will be, because you're asking this person for a professional, for a personal plan of action, a way to grow yourself. For example, if I was still practicing real estate, which I have had mentors in my real estate business, but if I were still practicing real estate, I would definitely have a mentor. Even 17 years later, even working 10 full years in the industry, even after feeling like I've accomplished some things, there is value in the relationship with the mentor. The mentor is there to help you. For me, I would look towards someone who would probably have more experience in a seasoned real estate professional, someone who is looking to help me grow my business. If I was starting over, maybe I was away from the business for some period of time and I'm re-entering. When I sold real estate years ago, social media wasn't huge. The internet wasn't used as prevalently as it is right now. So I would definitely be looking towards a mentor that can help me in those areas to be able to have more of a footprint in the business. So that analogy with the Karate Kid, I think, is one of the best ones. Daniel did ask a lot of questions. He even got the wax on, wax off incorrect. And Mr. Miyagi came back and showed him the proper way to do it. You might want to look at that movie, since we're all stuck in the house, as a way to learn a lot more about a mentor and mentee relationship. Let's talk a little more right now about what a mentor actually is and what goals that they have to reach with the mentee relationship. One of the things that I notes. One of the things with a mentor you should expect is someone, I call them wisdom keepers, because they get a chance to merge both real life experience with a combination of their knowledge and give that all to you. They are great at vision and having insight on a specific subject or a plethora of subjects that should ultimately help you. When you're looking for a mentor, you don't go get someone who, let's say that I am in real estate, but my mentor is a practicing professional in selling fish. I could still take something away from the value of that person, my mentor, who wholesales fish for a living. But I might want to stick to a mentor that has walked the walk and talked the talk and in the real estate industry, doing those things that I ultimately want to achieve. You can still take value away from any relationship with a mentor. Don't take my advice incorrectly. What I'm not saying is looking at a mentor from a different scope of work, a different genre, a different industry. Don't lessen the value. There is a value in it. But coach, mentor, goal. We want to make sure that we're picking these people in the right capacity, okay? Another thing that you can expect from a mentor is to act as a role model. They may even volunteer their time when they see that you have a definite need. A mentor, for example, might want to just invite you out for coffee on a Saturday when you're not expecting it, just to check in on you. I see the value in a mentor and mentee relationship right now, with us being under this stay-at-home order and this pandemic eventful time that we're in. I know a lot of mentors that are checking in on their mentees, especially from a business perspective, to make sure that they're doing okay. Others are just wanting to make sure that you are emotionally okay. What's your mindset? And how are you planning to stay whole so that when we come out of this pandemic, you can take off? Sky's the limit. A mentor will also help to guide those things, those leadership competencies that you may have, and the way that you're looking to grow internally. They're going to help you, again, cultivate those areas. They're going to be able, a mentor, to be able to identify opportunities that the mentee might miss. The mentee might miss opportunities that they can't think outside of the box, but someone in a mentor position may have done it, did it, and know how to get and move past it or above it. The mentor also and the mentee, they're going to build a trust, a relationship in a sense. Whereas a coach could build trust and build a relationship. But think about my son and that example that I gave you. What if my son has now aged out of the Pee Wee football leagues, and now we're looking at him taking this through college? The coach can still be there, but what if he only coached 7 and 8 year olds? We need to get someone to help my son in that analogy through his college years and high school and all of those areas to help him be more effective in that field of football. Okay. Let's talk about what are some of the benefits to a mentee. A mentee is definitely going to have some increased motivation. You're going to feel invigorated, like you got a B12 shot of some sense to help you grow your business, to help you consider ideas that you never thought of, to help propel you again to that next level. That's what this relationship can bring about. We talked about opportunities. They're going to be able now to see the vision as a whole versus just little specks and particles of the puzzle. The pieces will come together, and those opportunities that may have been overlooked, never known of, can now exist because of this type of relationship. There's going to be new perspectives. Having those new perspectives, maybe in my former life as a real estate broker, maybe the mentor is going to expose me to, hey, had you considered this, Lanora? Did you consider, now that you have the experience as a real estate broker, and you're really good at estimating values for properties and staying really, really close to potentially what a house could sell for in the market, consider becoming an appraiser. Never thought of that, did you? There is a fast track learning. What better way to get someone's wisdom, knowledge, and experience and have immediate access to that? So it's almost as if working with a mentor, you can go from kindergarten to 11th grade and almost ready to graduate with you putting the time in it, the investment of time and experience in it. So that's what it's not that you're going to learn everything overnight. The average relationship from my research that I've seen mentors and mentees have is about 12 to 18 months. Some of them can be shorter. Others can be much longer. They can be lifelong. But that's about the average, about 12 to 18 months. How much growth would you be able to make if you found a mentor today and look at yourself a year from now, a year and a half from now? How much growth do you think you would have had from that type of relationship? One of the other final ways that the benefits a mentee would get from this type of relationship is constructive feedback. Oh my goodness. Let's start right there. So I talk to a lot of people, as you guys know, and I get a lot of people that want to over talk me. I talk for a living, but they want to tell me about the industry and about the field of real estate and how, based on the Google search that they've done, what they've seen in this industry and trends. I'm open to that type of conversation. But I also know that the reason why you called is because you wanted answers to a specific question and you want to help. That's what I give, those answers. In a way, that relationship for someone considering a career in real estate starts with learning what those opportunities are, what the answers to those questions are. So I would say with constructive feedback, open these, close this. It's very important that you learn to listen. It's not always the number one asset that a person has. But what I've learned in my industry, because my goal is always to be successful, I have a passion for real estate and it comes out. I want to learn the best ways to do something without putting all of the blood, sweat, and tears into everything I do, because you'll exhaust yourself. So constructive feedback will benefit a person in such a way as for you not to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to do that anymore. There are people that have been seasoned, lifelong members of industries that you might be interested in. Take advantage of being quiet and open your ears and listen. And when they tell you to change something, even if you don't see the benefit in it right away, jot it down. Review it. Pray about it if you need to. But the goal is for you to take that constructive criticism, not criticism, feedback. I don't like the word criticism. But take that constructive feedback and use it. I might not look good in the color blue to some people. It may, because I'm of a darker complexion, dole me out. Maybe I should stick with more high, what am I trying to say? More brighter colors, like pinks and yellows and whatever, to kind of accentuate my skin tone. For my mentor to tell me that when you go into a meeting, wear a power color, you think I won't take that type of advice? Important, okay? There's access to new knowledge for a mentee, areas that you never again thought of, considered, because we don't always know it all. So it's important that we have relationships with some people that can say ultimately, think about this, consider this, what would you do? That's the power of a mentor. When I think about the mentor and mentee relationship, ultimately people want to know, how do I find one? Where do I go? Where do I meet these people? What type of social networking systems can I find a mentor specific for me? I'm going to ask you to sit back and watch. Yes, you can Google different networking, social networking opportunities to meet people. But the reason why I want you to sit back and watch, I actually want you to be kind of putting together a plan of action. And the first plan I want you to know, or put on your within your notebook or your notes, why do you need a mentor? That should be your first question. What is the importance or the value of a mentor in my life right now in the current position that I'm in? Don't just jump out there and ask somebody for their time and you don't even know what you want from the relationship, because then you're ultimately going to be wasting somebody's time. Plan to invest time in this relationship. Rome wasn't built in a night, wasn't built overnight, won't be built in a week. It took time. And that's what you have to give these types of relationships. Don't expect your mentor right away to tell you in 5 minutes how you're going to reach your goal effectively. They've got to get to know you too. They have to learn what are those things that are going to make you happy, motivated, and move. Happy, motivated, and move. Sometimes we do a job less effectively because we're not really interested in it. Sometimes we miss the mark in the type of work that we do, whether it's for fun or whether it's for play, because it's not what I ultimately want to do, but I have to do it. Somebody trying to call me on Messenger. Now they know I'm on this Facebook Live. Why? Sorry about that. The mentor in that relationship, in that example, will ultimately help you get on track. Keep your mind open to possibilities because you never know where you're going to find a mentor. They can be in the grocery store. They can be within your office. They can be in another industry. They can also be referred to you. Do mentors cost? Yes, some do. The cost could be their time, and it might be you purchasing a cup of coffee, or it might be a mentor that says, hey, this is my hourly rate for mentorship. You're going to pay that because my time means more to me than anything, and then I'll be able to pour into you. You really can't ask someone to give something to you that you're not willing to sacrifice for. Do you have to pay mentors all the time? You don't. But I would, again, put a plan of action in place, know what you want, know what the expectation is, so that when you do sit down with him or her, you're not wasting your time or that person's time. There's a goal that you ultimately want to reach, and you've thought about it. You've invested that time to make sure you know what the end of this should look like and what you're expecting to get out of it. I thought about what would that relationship look like one day. My recommendation, if you're considering a mentor-mentee relationship, think about what you would look like as the mentor. Think about ultimately once you've reached your goal and you've done everything in that relationship with a mentor, what did you accomplish? If you can put yourself in the shoes of your mentor, you are now ready to mentor someone else. And give back. Don't forget to give back, because you earned valuable insight. You earned valuable lessons. There were a lot of things talked about in that relationship between you and your mentor. Now it's time for you to reach back and pull somebody else up. So I'm going to check real fast to make sure. My friend Kevin, boy, I tell you, Kev, I love you. You're here every week with me. But yes, Kevin mentioned that his mentor actually taught him the business of real estate. So I'll tell you a quick story, let you guys go. My mentor was actually the vice president of the first real estate company that I worked with. Who had time to invest in little old me, starting out in the industry, who had a phone and a desk and didn't know what to do with it? When I tell you that woman poured so much into me, she lit such a fire underneath my feet. I think that's mostly where my passion for real estate came from. It was from my mentor-mentee relationship. All I wanted to do was make sure that I was in a capacity to give back, to help, to reach people. I wanted to make sure first-time home buyers knew these were the steps to earn and to accomplish to earn your first home. I wanted to make sure that my colleagues in the office knew that I was a wealth of resources, a go-to person. Someone who I might not have had as much experience in the industry, but I was willing to dig deep and do the hard work so they could count on me. And then for my family, I wanted to make sure that I was accomplishing the goals that I had set for myself so that I could take care of them. That's the value of a mentorship. It's an opportunity to learn from a seasoned, experienced individual, for them to pour into you so that ultimately you can reach your goal and then give back. The value of mentorship. I hope that you've learned a lot from just this conversation or me talking. Remember, it's really easy to reach me. It's really easy to get a lot of these questions. I pour into people on a daily basis. I'm not even a mentor in that capacity, but because I love people and I love sharing this love of real estate and making sure that folks follow the is trying to reach me, and I apologize for that, guys, but look into the value of a mentor. If you don't have one right now, look into finding one. Maybe you should ask for referrals in your life, in your office, in your everyday world, and see who can refer you to a great great mentor. Don't forget, over at the Realtors Real Estate School, we're still open. Learning is still going on in a virtual world. We do have those webinar specials going right now. Whereas if you're completing your broker pre-licensing course via a webinar, we've discounted the price from $704 down to $599 for the complete 75-hour broker pre-licensing course. I'll have Saturday classes starting, a Saturday webinar starting on May 30th. And then a 2-week accelerated course, all 75 hours done in 2 weeks starting June 15th. All from the comfort of your lovely homes. So you don't even have to come into the school for that. I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you again on the very next live. Thank you for taking your time and stopping by. Keep your head up, keep focused, keep grinding, keep doing what you do. I see it. And I look forward to talking to each and every one of you. Please share this page, like this page, invite someone else to like and share this page. And if they have questions about the industry, the field of real estate, becoming licensed, tell them to call me. Ta-ta for now. Bye-bye.